Okay, Friday, March 25th. I think we're just one day, I think February 24th was the invasion. Yeah, we're 1 month in. I think yesterday was actually 1 month in. So, no air raid sirens in a couple days, so it's been a bit quiet and everything. So, yeah, yesterday I was talking about a lot about the strategic war versus the tactical battles going on, and since yesterday we've seen some very impressive developments in Ukraine that maybe will sway me a little bit to believe that there could be a full victory, but I'm still a bit cautiously optimistic, let's say, about a full what do you say, undisputable victory, like complete withdrawal, rewinding to before 2014. But we saw Ukraine sunk some ships yesterday, and it was apparently, I thought it was done by divers, the way the ships were damaged and went down, but apparently it was done by missiles. I didn't know Ukraine had missiles heavy enough to sink a ship, but then looking into it more, it was a landing ship, which have a flat bottom, relatively thin deck, because they have to get close to the beach. So a missile could go through the deck, hit a fuel storage or something, set off secondary explosions, and then the ship would go down. And it was nice. It was right in the harbor, so it ties up the harbor, ties up the resources there. And then another two ships got damaged, but I don't know what they mean by damaged. But at first I thought, when I saw this attack, I thought it was like a traditional frogman attack, swimming in, with a scuba gear or, rebreather, and then attaching a limpet mine. These are like little magnetic mines. They first attach it to the chest. They have like a strap and they attach it and then they pull it off. This is like, goes back to the World War II era, and this was like, I think even before diving suits, they would rub oil on themselves to stay warm or something. And they would just, take the magnetized mine off their chest, and they would stick it on the boat, and it was like a shaped charge, and then there was like a timer for a few hours, and they would swim away. And it could disable, you'd usually place them on the engine, where the propeller is, because I don't think it would be enough to sink the ship, but it would be enough to damage it, so it's inoperable, so that the ship isn't useful. So, yeah, that was interesting, and that was very encouraging, but still the port of Odessa is closed, and they need to repeat this process with the ships at sea and get them sunk. And I think Ukraine is really, I heard that there's talks now about getting anti-shipping missiles to Ukraine. Finally, maybe somebody in NATO is watching my videos or something. I don't know. Probably not. So yeah. And then I read something in one of the groups. I'm in a Facebook group, couple Telegram groups. So a lot of this information is unconfirmed. But it would be nice if it was true. But I would love to have seen pictures of this. Apparently some tank driver got mad at his commander for losing half of the battalion, or half of the tanks. I'm not sure how big a tank battalion is. I'm not well versed in the sizes of these units, but I imagine it's probably 15 or 20 tanks. I imagine a tank platoon is 5 tanks, and a tank company is 15 tanks, and then I imagine a tank battalion, maybe, or a tank, and then regiment. So I imagine it might be even 100 tanks in a battalion, maybe 45, 50, something like that. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. It's like, but apparently he got really mad at his commander and ran him over with the tank, and then, but I haven't, I was asking in the group, where's the confirmation? And people are almost mad at me, like questioning the news. It's like, we still need journalism, and we need confirmation from multiple sources. Otherwise they can just do this kind of overly optimistic propaganda, and we all start believing it, and next thing you know, the Russians are at our doorsteps, and we didn't see it coming. So we need to be having real news, real facts. We'll celebrate what's really good news, and we'll be cautious about what is bad news, but we need to hear it all so we can make better decisions. But yeah, so I want to talk about a project I'm working on, now that, that's done. I'm working on an NFT project. You see all these pictures of tanks towing tractors towing tanks. All these Ukrainian farmers are stealing the tanks. So I wanted to capture that in an NFT collection. And I have put up an Instagram, at tractors_and_tanks on Instagram, and there you can get to the website tractorsandtanks.com and read more about the project. But what we need to make this project a success is that we have the tech and we have the graphic design, but what we need is the two things: an endorsement from an organization that can receive the donations, and some endorsement that they're working with us and they endorse this project and they accept this project, and then they would give us proper receipts after we make the donation so we can do the bookkeeping and do the auditing. And then also some influencer, somebody who has a large following that can get the word out about this project, give us some free marketing, I suppose. We're going to donate all the profits to the to these causes, the Army cause, Come Back Alive or Save Life .ua. This is probably the largest Army one, and we're looking for a cause that is trying to rebuild the Ukrainian agriculture sector, because obviously tractors are related to agriculture, and there's been a lot of agricultural devastation. To the Kyiv tractor factory was burned down. They're burning up the grain elevators, the grain stores. So maybe there's an organization that deals with that, and that would be interesting for us to deal with, to fund that, if we can make a successful sellout. We're going to do it on the Solana blockchain just because we're most familiar with that and they have the lowest fees. I think Ethereum sucks, with this gas fees. If that's the future of money, that to spend $5 to buy a cup of coffee, you gotta spend like $80 in gas fees and wait 6 hours for the transaction to go through. I mean, then the future sucks. If that's the future of money, I'll just stick to using cash and a credit card. I'm not sure what problem that's solving. So Solana, although it's not decentralized, none of the cryptocurrencies that actually work properly are really cryptocurrencies. They're centralized. They pick their nodes. They don't have that many nodes because then they work faster. When something is decentralized like Bitcoin or Ethereum, then the stuff is spread out all over the place. It takes a long time to sync and get confirmations. All those miners, mostly they're in China, probably in Russia, want to be paid. So yeah. Anyway, that's my little soapbox about cryptos. I mean, I'm in crypto because it's there and it's a trend, but I still really don't. I like the NFT thing. I understand the NFT and the gaming, but I'm not really understanding how it's solving anything in payments. It's not what we could do now. What we can do with using a Visa card and deducting from the bank account. Although the transaction fees supposedly to send a large sum of money are cheaper, but the banks are catching up on that too. They're just dropping their fees to use the SWIFT system. But anyway, enough about that. So now it's the weekend coming. My friend is coming in town. We're going to host them for dinner. He and his girlfriend are coming over, so it's going to be like a double date night. We'll make some dinner and talk. He's coming over from Sweden, coming to visit and everything. So that's really nice to have some visitors over, and have something good to eat as usual. You can tell I eat really well. So I'm really looking for the weekend. The weather is getting better. It's not freezing all the time, and I just want to say, and it seems like things are opening back up. It seemed when I was in the city center the other day, it seemed like the restaurants and everything was opening back up, and there's more. The choices are starting to increase again, and the fruits have been pretty good at the supermarket last few days, and even we've seen some meat coming back. The meat is starting to come back. So I don't know if they rework the supply lines and everything. So that would be interesting. That would be interesting. So, yeah, we'll have a lot of discussions, about this weekend. But I want to go back a little bit to this discussion about if Ukraine could, win a strategic victory through a series of tactical victories. It could be possible, if they keep doing the counterattacks and keep seizing back what was taken, but they would have to push. They would actually have to go behind the enemy lines to cripple the war machine behind the enemy lines. And we've actually seen in Belarus some rebels, I think they were Belarusian rebels, destroyed a railroad line to disrupt logistics. That's the only way you can really get a strategic victory, is to go back. I'll talk more about that tomorrow. So, yeah. Anyway, you all take care. Bye-bye.